What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? So I got a little treat for you guys. I'm sure a lot of people have been wondering, including myself, what this guy is like at 100%. Now, this guy doesn't exist on the global version, so that is pretty much well known throughout all of the Dokkan community, I'm sure, but since it is a private server, I'm able to showcase this guy. I actually have him in my JP account with all due paths unlocked and max SA, and I've always debated if I wanted to max him out, but you know, I've got other priorities for strength units that I need to max out and spend orbs on, so I decided to do this video and kind of you know, showcase what this guy's potential is on you know, 100% potential. So this is the Badman Vegeta that you know, was released with the Bulma Looking for Mr. Right campaign. Now JP ended up getting this guy because JP won the competition with, I guess, Global. So this is going to be with a extreme strength team setup, and I guess I'll be switching around, linking him with LR Broly and other Saiyan units, but yeah, it's I've always wondered, like I said, what this guy was like at max level, maxed out, you know, rainbow status, but you know, I know a lot of people have been wondering the same thing, so hopefully this is a little treat for you guys and you enjoy the video. But you know, I mean, averaging anywhere from like 400, 300,000 so far. This is Boss Rush 3 too, so you know, it's not like an obsolete event by any means. You know, the you know, enemies you face here have decent defense, so it's more of a realistic gauge on what his performance is. So nevertheless, it's strictly a test purpose video, so just to see what his potential is at 100%. So 380,000 roughly against Goku, I mean, certainly isn't a bad thing. And you know, I remember somebody telling me that they found, or they saw a guy with a maxed out version of this Vegeta in JP, but I've never personally seen one myself, but I've always wondered, like I said, what he's like at 100%, so I'm glad to be able to kind of test this out and see how he is. He's actually not too bad, surprisingly, but I guess that can be said for any unit maxed out at rainbow status, really. But you know, again, I mean, it is a private video purpose, but that's kind of the purpose of why I do these videos on a private server, is to be able to, you know, showcase units that typically aren't maxed out, and you know, people have always wondered what they're like at 100%. So you know, that's kind of the reason why I do this type of stuff. And I mean, you know, he's hitting anywhere from, you know, 300,000 to 400,000 upwards to about, you know, just short of a mil right there. So I mean, it's certainly not a bad unit. Now, practicality wise, how often he would use him, probably not so often. I think, you know, really it's for collection purposes. I mean, this guy's probably not going to get released again, since it was for a, you know, like a campaign competition kind of thing. So you know, I made sure to unlock all paths just in case I got bored one day and decided to max them out. I mean, you know, that's kind of the way I went about it, and I actually did go ahead and farmed SA and got him to max SA, and I was debating, you know, like I said, whether to actually invest the orbs into him or not. Obviously I don't have to now, since I'm doing this off of a private server, but you know, it's always interesting to see, you know, these types of units at their max potential, and just got to mess around and see what they got, you know. So alright, so this is a type disadvantage against Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with a Dokkan mode. So about 672,000, linking up with Bardock and, let's see, and Kaba, so definitely benefiting from the passive skill there. And he actually didn't do too bad. I mean, close to 700,000 with Dokkan mode with type disadvantage against you know, an enemy like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta certainly isn't bad. Now he'll probably do better here because he's gonna have type advantage, but we'll have to see. Alright, 656,000. And yeah, 1.9 million roughly. So, I mean, again, this guy is, what's his name, Naze? I mean, he's weak as hell, so obviously he's gonna put out, you know, that kind of damage. But, you know, it's always nice to see stuff like that, you know, and see what the damage potential's there. Now, you'll see that I've been linking him with Super Saiyan 2 Bardock quite a bit. The only reason being, he does share a couple link skills along with Bardock's passive of 30% increase to attack for all allies. That certainly helps, and I kind of focus on, you know, providing the maximum boost for Vegeta. So just kind of kept them side by side, made sure he's always part of Vegeta's rotation, and then every now and then I would get Kaba in there too to, you know, further add another 40% toward Vegeta's attack, along with I think it was Saiyan Pride was the link skill that he shares with Vegeta, and I think that adds 10% if I remember correctly. So, you know, roughly about 50%. I mean, that's actually a hell of a boost, you know, toward an attack. So you're seeing it firsthand. You know, 700,000 with type disadvantage with critical. Without critical, you're looking at 167,000. So nothing crazy, but again, you know, this is almost like a troll card in a way. You know, it's not a card that, you know, is anywhere close to being, you know, top of the line or whatever you want to call it, but it's more or less, you know, kind of a joke or a clown card, you know what I'm saying? So those types of cards I've always had an interest in, you know, seeing their full potential. So I'm glad I'm able to see it firsthand. So against Cooler, he did about 600,000. That's actually pretty good output because typically they'll do a lot less damage against Cooler, even if they have a type advantage. So certainly interesting. All right, let's see. So this is going to be an agility Goku. He looks to be averaging about 600,000 ish toward, you know, the power meter before the SA activates. So rough estimate wise, that's probably what you're expecting at max level. Granted, that is considering a passive boost of, you know, 30% and probably another 10% with link skills and passive skills from Bardock. So that's, you know, pretty much what you're looking at. Like right now, you'll probably see a higher output. Well, this one is about 400,000, so not quite sure what went on there, but yeah, I mean, it really depends on, you know, finding out what its true potential is. I mean, obviously I factor in partnering him up with you know, characters and units that'll help him, you know, increase attack. So that's, you know, typically what I focus on when I do team builds for, you know, these types of videos, especially when I do videos in terms of showcases. I make sure to build a team around that particular unit. I don't build like the best team setup by any means. It's more or less for showcase purposes. So, you know, it's not like an optimized team by, you know, at all. It's really just to provide, build a team that typically can boost up the showcase unit as high as possible in terms of attack. So this is obviously an extreme strength team with double lead Janembas, but you know, you also see super type units on here. That's really the reason why. I mean, I factor in, you know, passive skills and links with the particular unit and make sure, you know, that's, you know, it's done the right way, basically. So you know, I'm sure you guys all know by this point. I mean, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are seasoned veterans with the game and probably know more about Dokkan Battle than I do. So but if you're a new player and you're watching this, you know, that's kind of, you know, the approach I take with that. So looks to be about 1.2 million with type advantage against Super Vu. You know, that's actually a pretty decent output, even though, you know, that particular Boo really isn't that great of a you know, difficulty, you know, in terms of a boss. But I mean, this guy will give you a decent gauge as to, you know, what Vegeta's output is. Bardock looks like he's wanting to flex a little bit, but so that actually it'll be a good comparison. So Bardock put out about 341,000. Their output level is pretty similar in a way. So you can see that he hit a mill with criticals, and I don't know if it'll be back to back here, but well, I guess this is the thing about Vegeta. Like, he always has to show off, don't he? He's always got to be the better man. He's always got to one-up somebody. All right. Well, without the critical, probably would have been about 5 to 600,000, like you saw in the power meter before the essay. So that's kind of a gauge comparison, I guess, in a way. But you know, we'll see. So critical with neutral type against Boob did about 650k. Certainly not bad. I mean, that's a consistently decent number in terms of you know, like boss events, honestly. So Bardock put about 200,000, so about 3 times more. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And